Today we will be seeing now the urinary system, kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, male reproductive system, the testes, epididymis, vas deferens, prostate and penis. Now we will be seeing testes today, and next we will show you the prostate. Now the male reproductive system consists of pair of testes, genital ducts, epididymis, ductus deferens, ejaculatory ducts, accessory sex glands, seminal vesicles, prostate, bulbourethral glands, male urethra, penis. Main functions of the male reproductive organs is production of sperms, spermatogenesis, production of sex steroid hormones, testosterone, helps in deposition of sperm in the female reproductive tract. This is the fundamental. Now, you see, I told you the other day that undescended testes or incomplete descent of testes. Undescended incomplete descent of testes, because I told you that this has to be looked into. If it is one right side undescended, incomplete descended testes, then you have to, your child is brought to you. Then you have to manage and see where is the problem. You do a simple ultrasound, and accordingly, if it is in the inguinal canal, then you can bring it down into the scrotal sac, or you make a pocket and put it in the medial side of the thigh, and that the child grows, and then there won't be any problem expected. But until and unless he is adolescent, any spermatogenesis is there, then only can you evaluate the quality of sperm, quantity of sperm. This comes into a question. So, if an adolescent boy comes to you with incomplete descent of testes, then you definitely do an ultrasound and you ask if he masturbate and or he has night falls. Then you have to, then you will be knowing that some seminal fluid or some things are on the testes is producing, and accordingly you get the report and then you decide what to do. If there is no sperms or nothing, then there's some big problem is there. So immediately you don't go for surgery, you have to plan, and accordingly you advise and then execute. This is the simple equation, and see the difference between, and in undescended, incomplete descent of testes, undescended testes, if it's not in the scrotal sacs, then if it is in the inguinal canal or in the abdominal cavity, then the temperature difference between the scrotum and the abdomen, there is lots of, you can see the difference. And wearing tight undergarments and also tight jeans, it is also leading to some problems in the spermatogenesis. Now, now the part of the male reproductive system, this is the urinary bladder, the seminal vesicle, which Professor Roy was explaining to you, and see, this is the vas deferens. So that goes into this common path, but they unite here, and then it goes into the urethra, and this is the bulbourethral gland. This is the vas deferens, epididymis, and testes and scrotum, and the erectile tissue and penis is here. Now, this is the head of the epididymis, parts of the male reproductive system. This is the head of the epididymis. See the efferent ductules, and these are the seminiferous tubules. See, it's highly coiled structure, and this is the reti testes, this is the efferent ductules, and this is the vas deferens, and you see tail and body of the epididymis. Okay. And this is the tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa, and tunica vaginalis. Now, when you see in the specimen, testes, when you are dissecting and you are seeing the layers, and if Now testes, the testes are paired ovoid masses or organs that lies in a sac of the scrotum. The testis develops from the intermediate mesoderm of genital ridges in the abdomen, migrated primordial germ cells of the yolk sac. Later testis descends to lie in the scrotum. So, now the testis, it is the level of the kidneys, but it descends slowly, migrates and goes into the scrotal sac during organogenesis and within the mother's womb in the pregnancy period. And the kidneys are here, they ascend and this descends. This is testes and this is kidneys. And if you do an ultrasound, you sometimes see in the pelvis there is a horseshoe shaped kidney or a genesis of left kidney or right kidney with a full this thing in the, it can be a small kidney here, a small kidney like this and in the pelvis, or it can go there, usually it goes there and you can say like this, but this right kidney is normal and this is small kidney. Now in an adult, you can do an IVU, then you will see another type of picture in the intravenous uropilography. Okay. Now, structure of the testis, tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa, connective septa and lobules, mediastinum testis, seminiferous tubules, lytic interstitial cells, straight tubules, tubuli recti, reti testis in efferent ductules. Now, this I've returned to the previous slide, which I showed you earlier. Now, you see this picture. Now, if you take a section from this level, you will see the seminiferous tubules in different stages of spermatogenesis. And if you take a section in this level, you will be seeing. Now, this is the main thing. Now, if a patient with sterility comes, husband and wife, now or the wife to फांसी के फंदे में चढ़ा देते, Indian women are hung earlier. हाँ, उसका नहीं, मेरा बेटा का कुछ तकलीफ नहीं है, हाँ, वो मेरा बहू का बहुत तकलीफ है. And in that way, only the wife is hung, and the male partner, the son, is not taken into the battery of testes. On the first visit in my clinic, what I do is that I ask, your son is here? बोलो नहीं, उसका तो कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, उसका तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तो I see the bahu or the lady, and or if she comes alone, I insist and request to bring the husband, because they are not having any problem, they are not having any biological issues, but there might be some psychological problems, there might be some distance. He works in some multinational company, or he is an immigrant laborer. Then the distance is there. The timing of intercourse, that also gets hampered. So, with this thought and idea, you have to see the normal anatomy and also think. On the first day, you don't go to cold biopsy or FNAC of the testes, don't. Now, this is one part of it. Now, why I am telling you, the testes, undescended testes in different stages. It might be that is atrophic, there will be maximum cellular components are lessened with fibrous elements in the seminiferous tubules. Now, these are the things that occur. And see, the thing is that I married in 3rd year, but I had an issue. Baishakhi was born after 7 years of marriage. I used to come in weekends, but anyway, it did not work out. After 7 years, when we were in Delhi, Baishakhi was implanted, I would say. Let us talk medicine and biology. And now I have 2 daughters, 2 granddaughters. So, one thing is that these things matter, the timing and this thing. Another thing is that when a girl of 16 is raped, only one instance she becomes pregnant. Even if there is no rape, but some relation is there, with one encounter, the girl may get pregnant. With this thought, we'll go to the lab, and now microscopic structures, the seminiferous epithelium, seminiferous tubules are lined by complex stratified epithelium called seminiferous epithelium. It consists of 2 types of cells, Sertoli cells, spermatogenesis cells. Each seminiferous tubule is approximately 50 centimeters long and 150 to 200 microns in diameter. Now, why I am telling you, I relate my own experience in life. I shared with you. Now, when you are encountering a patient in the clinic, then you see a major part is that you have to give a psychological counseling in your own way. You have to ask both the partners separately. Now, if you say, I'm not an andrologist or something like that, but you are a gynecologist. So, when the lady comes to you, then accordingly you handle that case. Everything, the sex, arousal, ichha, I write in my prescription, ichha, josh, all these terms I use. If the ichha is not there, then I put an arrow. If it is less, then you do this. If it is there, ঠিক আছে, ইচ্ছা আছে, josh, either this or this. I put it because my brain is overcrowding. Don't trust your memory. Put it in black and white or red. So when they come in the next visit, you according to you this thing, and you handle. It's very easy to handle. You have to ask simple questions. You have to ask delicate questions. Even you suggest to the couple that Vatsan's Kam Sutra, the book. You also read that book. Amazon said, you bring one book, you read. It is not pornography or it is this thing. Of course, according to that, even you have to see porn and then you advise to your patient. Mane eta heart, human being. We are not animals. Of course, we are animals. But what I want to say is that until and unless you take the patient into your confidence and you alag, you see and describe and then you tell them you are not married, you are not this thing, but your knowledge, you have to increase this knowledge and you accordingly you have to advise. So you have to read Vatsayan or any Kama Sutra books. There are numerous books written. It's available in the bookshop stall or Amazon, you think, and it's not bad. Don't have that taboo in you. And don't be very busy saying, but they are shy. Anyone, if you ask me directly, no, you have to, first visit you just say, and second visit comes, then you open up. You just hold the hand and say, okay, everything will be okay. You can tell me, you have any problem with your husband? Is he interested on you? These things matter also in stimulating the organs for spermatogenesis or whatever it is, the biological outcome of counseling and discussing. Then only can you go for an IVF. Now you will see routinely a diploma gynecologist. He or she is writing on a letterhead, trained in your sterility, IVF. So you can write, you may be trained, that is an ornament. But the core is that MBBS you can consult. If any, okay, who to send, which center to send, this also counts. तुम्हें काके पाठाबे, किसको भेजेंगे, कौन हॉस्पिटल में भेजेंगे. So that you have to guide this simple. Everyone is ignorant, though he may be educated. Okay. Now see, you can see the tunica albuginea, tunica vascular, seminiferous tubules, and germinal epithelium. Incomplete descent of testes or undescended testes, you have different types of this thing. I guided a thesis of my student, Saif Omar, who is an anatomist now, that I had presented that paper in Imphal, Manipur, some 40 years back, and I was in 2005 in Katiyar Medical College. He had talked about some different type of this thing. He was guided by some professor. You can do this, but you have to see in a 2 years, 3 years tenure that undescended testes, iska how many children are affected? Undescended testes. So I had presented a paper. I told him, abhi to protocol jama pad gaya. It was in the university, and what I did, I just recalled, okay, next month I'm coming. I had actually preserved those wax mold and the slides in my possession. I took that. Next visit I went, I just made new sections. I asked the laboratory technician to make new sections, and we stained. Even I revived those, the sections that done by me. I revived those slides and it was presented for the MD anatomy thesis. But I was lucky that for photomicrography, I was in IIT as an adjunct professor in medical school. He is placed in Calcutta, but now he's, I think, Durgapur. Now, Taj Bengal, in front of Taj Bengal, I reached around 7 a.m. At 6 a.m. He came from Park Circus. We moved off, and the whole day, we under some beautiful microscopes, we took photographs and everything, and that was presented, and that was even calculated the micro structures, microscopic, what is the descriptive part of the anatomy that was done, and the mathematical calculation by a mathematician of IIT Kharagpur. So that was a very good document. Now, whatever you see, you come and see, don't be in a hurry. You see your books also, then leave.